E aí rapaziada, esta é a parte 2 do nosso vídeo sobre Unreal. Se você ainda não viu os anteriores, clique nos links que estão na descrição do vídeo. A criação de Unreal começou 4 anos antes do lançamento, com a parceria entre a Epic Mega Games de Tim Sweeney e a Digital Extremes, que havia sido fundada por James Schmaltz.
James Schmaltz, around 1992 or 1993, sent in an early version of SolarWinds, which was incredibly impressive. Amazing art. I was blown away by it and called James up right away, and we talked and started the relationship.
Juntos eles lançaram o game Epic Pinball por volta de 1993. O jogo tinha gráficos bonitos e gameplay realista, simulando as máquinas de pinball muito populares na época, e fez muito sucesso.
So James is really multi-talented. Has the combination of the ability to program and do art, and do modeling in 3D and everything. But his programming skills are the most interesting aspect. So Epic Pinball was a pure assembly language code, thousands of lines of assembly language, and he built that code to write the first pinball table. And then to create the additional pinball tables, he copied and pasted that code and modified it. And so by the end result, you had like 12 pinball tables. Each one was thousands of lines of copied and pasted code. I didn't realize this till I asked James, hey, why don't you add this one little pause feature to each game? He's like, oh no, that would take an immense amount of work. I'd need to do it 12 times.
Muitos recursos utilizados na criação de Unreal vieram das vendas de Epic Pinball.
The whole process of Unreal, or at least for me, it didn't really become Unreal until later on, but at first it was actually a cool idea. It was like robots, and I had my terrain map, but then I had a height map or another terrain map on top with a height map, and then it was all flattened together, and you could shoot your robot, and you could shoot missiles and like blow holes and start building your own, like forming your own kind of cavern as you go through.
Schmaltz ficou responsável pelo design do jogo e começou a produção do game criando alguns cenários rudimentares, que foram baseados no game Magic Carpet, lançado pela Bullfrog Productions, onde o jogador controlava um tapete mágico, inspirado na história das Mil e Uma Noites, combatendo dragões e outras criaturas mágicas. É possível notar essa influência nas primeiras imagens de Unreal Beta, que tinha uma mulher e um dragão tosco, parecido com aqueles de Magic Carpet. No início os cenários eram internos, mas Schmaltz resolveu fazer experiências removendo o céu, de maneira que o game pudesse rodar ao ar livre e dar uma sensação maior de grandeza.
James came up with the original idea for Unreal, and he had hand-plotted all the graphics himself. I mean, just by entering mathematical equations into a spreadsheet and then running them through his graphics program. And at the time, James had originally planned to build the game, and Tim Sweeney came on and said, well, why don't I make the editor for it?
E assim nasceu o primeiro Unreal Engine, com diversas ferramentas que permitiam produzir cenários avançados em tempo real. Antes de prosseguir com o desenvolvimento, a equipe precisava decidir qual seria a direção de arte do jogo. Embora no primeiro momento ele fosse pensado para ser medieval, eles pensaram, a gente quer um game com armas. Então resolveram apostar num mundo místico que unisse passado com futuro e ambientaram a história num planeta alienígena, para deixar o jogo com uma atmosfera de ficção científica. De acordo com Sweeney, eles olhavam artisticamente para jogos como Myst, lançado em 1993 pela Brother Band, ou a sua continuação Riven, que embora fossem games antigos, já exibiam visuais coloridos e detalhados, com muita variedade de ambientes e arte de qualidade.
Tim came on to build the editor, and then eventually Cliffy came on, and I hired some people, and they hired some people, and many years later, Unreal began to take shape.
I didn't really start working together with James until the Unreal Engine really started up and coming. James had the first version of what would eventually become Unreal. And we all kind of came together at one point and just started working together. James was doing skins and doing levels and doing designs. I was building my own levels and doing my own textures. And before we knew it, the initial kind of primordial ooze formed that created Unreal.
It was just an amazing genesis of elements coming together as the entire Unreal team, and none of us had ever shipped a 3D game before. Just figured it out as we went and built the project. And that was a project that was never more than 6 months away from shipping throughout its entire 3.5-year development cycle.
Então é isso aí, galera. Aguarde em breve a parte 3 do nosso documentário. Um grande abraço e até breve!